get some respect to be able to constantly get the theaters, and just from that first place. So it was good feedback.
Right, yeah, and I'm pretty sure it was unique because, like you said, it's rarely that it's not that much, especially in the Southern Illinois area, to where you
Hmm.
see black people like doing plays and stuff like that, doing those type having those type of events. Now, as far as like the book, I'm gonna kind of rewind a little bit. Now, you said at the beginning, your book did pretty well, but because of the publishing, it kind of broke even. So, can you kind of like explain that in detail, like as far as like the sales and like how much you had to pay for publishing and everything?
So it was close to $3,000 is how
Right,
much the publishing was. Yep, it was close to $3,000. May have been 2,000 and something. I got on a payment plan. I put down a deposit and I paid monthly payments until I paid it off. And so the sales, so I started getting it really wasn't even just even purchasing books. Like if I purchase book author copies, I could get them a little cheaper, but it wasn't that much cheaper. And um I could do book signings. The only benefit was I could do book signings at like any Barnes and Nobles and they could order the books in. So I would get paid through the publishers. So the people who buying the books that was at Barnes and Noble, I think one of my books is still in Cape, so because it didn't sell, but it was still on the shelf in Cape. I think like last year, one of them, because I had a book signing over there at that Barnes and Noble. So you would get like a quarterly check, and I think my biggest check may have been like $900 at one time, and then I think I got like a $300 check, and it just dwindled down.
right, right,
So basically, I just broke even. I started getting author copies, and after I started doing a little more, I didn't sell my book at that play. I didn't really understand selling the book at that play as well, because it was you had to buy a bunch of books, and I didn't have money to do that at that time. But as I started having a little more money in the future, I ended up buying like a box of books at one time, and I put them in the plays that I started having later, like at Cougar Blues,
right,
and
right.
those plays. I had the copies of my old books, and that's how I kind of broke even because I was able to always have books and sell them.
Right, right. And not to mention, back then, like it was internet, but it wasn't as prevalent as it was
It
today. It's
wasn't,
like
yeah,
as far as
not at
like
all.
promoting and things like that. So do you feel like if you would have wrote that book today, it would have blew up a lot more?
I think that it would definitely have gotten more attention. I don't know if I would get the sales anymore because the sales of my newest books didn't sell as big as that one did going through the publisher, because I think it was just a connection,
Right, right,
another connection to get that book out there, by paying that $3,000. So I would say that if if you don't have something else going, like, so I just wrote Poke Salad Sally, and I wrote the Poke Salad Sally play, and the books will be there together, or like how Shut Up and Hear God, and I could keep doing stuff and feeding off of that. I it has a potential to do better than that book. So I guess it probably would have that potential to do better in the long run. You just got to have patience,
right,
and
right.
I didn't have much.
Yeah, yeah, that's understandable.
I didn't understand,
Especially if you
so
come out of like $3,000 for a publishing,
yeah.
and you're gonna want to see some type of profit.
And I done it twice because I came out of the first, then I got a discount because I published the sequel to that book. So I published that one, then I published Hellbound. And I felt like Hellbound, like my mom and them that read it. So this is the problem I have with like family. So my mom